All it takes is a single blink, and the advantage may already have shifted. On the savanna, hyenas do not need to step in first. They appear precisely when things begin to fracture. They do not rush in with noise. They tighten control through endurance and steady pressure. And when others begin to tire, hyenas are the ones prepared to hold control to the very end. The male lion steps into territory familiar to the hyenas like a declaration without sound. His digging is not about food, but about marking control. The hyenas understand the message more clearly than any roar could deliver. In a fiercely competitive world, presence alone can restore order. When the pack of wild dogs arrives, the atmosphere shifts immediately. They do not act alone, but tighten formation step by step. The hyena gradually loses the space needed to shift the balance. When organized with discipline, numbers can apply pressure faster than raw strength alone. The lioness advances not out of hunger, but because a boundary has been tested. A close approach delivers a clear warning. There is no prolonged chase, no chaos. The most effective power is the kind that makes an opponent step back on its own. The title of dominant predator does not always guarantee complete advantage. As the hyenas close their circle, pressure builds with each movement. Familiar displays of authority are not enough to break the encirclement. Only when support arrives is balance restored, a reminder that in the wild, isolation is always a vulnerability. Hyenas do more than pursue. They also know how to wait. When a food source is no longer guarded, they approach with remarkable patience. No noise, no rush. Only a focused effort to make the most of what remains. Their flexibility is the reason they endure among predators larger than themselves. Following a familiar scent, the hyena approaches with its usual confidence. But the water's edge is not its domain. A sudden surge from the river instantly shifts the balance. In the wild, misreading the environment can be the costliest mistake of all. Low, muddy ground reshapes every familiar advantage. The hyenas recognize a brief moment of vulnerability. A massive body once symbolic of strength becomes harder to maneuver. Pressure is not explosive, but steady from multiple directions. Once the balance tips, nature offers no further warning. Hunger pushes the hyena beyond boundaries that were never its own. But the pack of wild dogs responds not with emotion, but with formation. Precise movement turns numbers into constant pressure. Space is closed off step by step. In this contest, organization outweighs recklessness. Not all tension comes from outside the clan. When rank is tested, confrontation unfolds quickly and directly. No prolonged warning is needed. Order is reasserted through presence. Even within the group, authority is continually reaffirmed. Individuals separated from their group often enter the most vulnerable zone. Hyenas close in through sustained pressure rather than direct assault. The lion can only maintain distance with warning roars. In the wild, isolation can be more dangerous than injury itself. The hyena chooses the most sensitive moment to approach, but the response from the antelope's parents is faster and more forceful than expected. Sudden confusion makes every movement harder to control. In that brief instant, a single misstep is enough to alter the entire outcome. Pressed into a narrow corner, the lion holds position under growing pressure. The sounds carry across the land, quickly drawing additional reinforcements. That presence alone shifts the balance. The hyenas withdraw, leaving their warning echoing in the distance. Under pressure from multiple directions, the mother rhino does not choose a reckless counterattack. Every movement centers on keeping her calf within a protected zone. Moving while facing the threat helps reduce risk. At times, protecting the young depends on knowing when to withdraw at the right moment. The pressure rises to the point where the lioness must seek higher ground to remain secure. The hyena clan maintains its encirclement, neither rushing nor easing its grip. The situation appears to tilt toward an unfavorable outcome until the male lion arrives. A single well-timed presence is enough to dissolve the entire formation. Loss does not erase the instinct to protect. The mother hippo stands firm. Even while facing those waiting for an opening, the hyenas recognize a boundary they cannot cross. This is not a hunt. It is a declaration that maternal resolve does not depend on the outcome. Though herbivorous, the hippo carries overwhelming power. Their charges toward one another are not tests, but assertions of status. Large tusks serve as unmistakable territorial statements.
Forward-pointing tusks.
There is no concession in this confrontation. Dominance is determined by weight and resolve. The silence convinces the hyena that the danger has passed. But it is a perfectly timed illusion. The hippo turns back with explosive force, erasing every prior calculation. The distance between safety and risk is measured in a single, evasive step. Accustomed to applying pressure to gain advantage, the hyena does not anticipate such a decisive response. The balance shifts so quickly, there is no time to adjust. This confrontation does not begin with hunger, but with a statement of authority. The male lion restrains his rival without haste, as if closing off every option of resistance. The hyena struggles, yet each movement only reveals the gap in strength more clearly. As night falls, the meal becomes the center of rising tension. The lions do not only feed, they guard. The scent draws the hyenas closer. But boldness quickly turns into miscalculation. The male lion responds instantly, without hesitation. In the darkness, territory is defended through action, not threats. Calm water conceals a hidden danger. One misstep is enough for the hyena to leave the familiar ground behind. In this environment, speed and reflexes that once offered advantage lose their edge. The male lion surges forward like a decisive line cutting through space. This time, the hyenas do not scatter. They tighten formation, holding just enough distance to apply pressure. On the savanna, a single animal may dominate, but a coordinated group can force even the strongest to reconsider energy and risk. Pressed by the wild dog pack, the hyena avoids direct confrontation. It retreats toward the water's edge, where the chase loses rhythm and the opposing formation breaks apart. When terrain changes, the balance shifts with it. In the wild, rapid adaptation often proves more effective than proving strength. A large carcass turns the hyena into the focal point. The wild dogs remain controlled, maintaining steady pressure and rotating their positions. Endurance and coordinated shifts wear down resolve more effectively than any burst of speed. Here, collective strategy becomes the true leverage of success. A sound from the mound makes the lion pause before moving with clear intent. Within its territory, it does not allow risk to grow into a future threat. The action is brief, driven by instinct to control living space. The wild can be harsh, but it always follows the long logic of survival. A single moment of distraction narrows the safe distance. The lion keeps its body low until the timing is right, then closes in with precise rhythm. There is no display, only patience rewarded at the right instant. The hyena chooses the wrong target, and the entire situation shifts. The donkey does not flee and does not panic. A firm and determined reaction leaves the predator off balance. The one who initiates is not always the one who holds the advantage. A sharp sense of smell leads the hyenas to an active feeding site. Their numbers allow them to approach through constant disruption. One group draws attention, while another looks for opportunity. Taking over a meal depends less on force and more on precise coordination. Familiar boldness brings the hyena face to face with a coiled python. The tightening reflex serves as a clear warning that not every opponent can be pressured. Each probing step carries increasing risk. In the wild, understanding one's limits can be the safest strategy of all. Familiar boldness brings the hyena face to face with a coiled python. The tightening reflex serves as a clear warning that not every opponent can be pressured. Each probing step carries increasing risk. In the wild, understanding one's limits can be the safest strategy of all.